We all know Xbox smashed it out of the park at E3, but there's a whole load of stuff that you might have missed. Microsoft's ID at Xbox program featured more than 50 amazing indie games at E3, and we're here to bring you the most surprising, most unique, and very best upcoming games that totally flew under the radar. We'll kick things off with a game that I've never seen anything like before. Harold Halibut is an old-school adventure made using stop-motion type effects, in a world made entirely out of actual craft materials like wood, clay, and metal. You play a janitor on an underwater utopia that's the last outpost of humanity on an alien planet. This is a future where humankind fled Earth 200 years ago in the 1970s. You've basically got to figure out how to relaunch the ship and get everyone home. With everything you see handcrafted, from the utensils to the rubbish on the ground, Harold Halibut is painstakingly made, and I can't wait to complete it in a single weekend binge. 1980s Sweden is the setting of this open-world action game that you can play alone or in 4-player co-op. On one hand, you've got the forlorn environment, which you nervously explore on the lookout for loot that can help you survive, very much how I do the week before payday. On the other hand, you've got the killer robots that want to kill you. There's something extra freaky about how ordinary and industrial they look, like if your kitchen suddenly turned deadly and you had to fend off your toaster. Another one to look out for. What's amazing about Sable is that 2 people made it. 2! I couldn't even bake a cake with someone, let alone come up with an exploration adventure game that takes place on a faraway desert planet looking like someone coloured in their Etch-a-Sketch. You play as Sable, a wanderer who leaves her family and sets out across the desert to find herself. On the way, she encounters mysterious monuments, crashed spaceships, and the odd person with a story to tell, and she gets to do it all on the back of an awesome hoverbike. In Bomber Crew, you have to manage a World War II era aircraft as it goes on mission, but there's a twist. Bomber Crew is procedurally generated, so if you don't keep your crew alive, they're gone for good. You'll do things like send a guy to refill the gun turret with a little box of ammo, repair the radar if it's taken a ding, snap recon photos of important sites, and drop supplies to people below. When you finally land back at base, which you have to do manually by the way, you'll use funds earned through fulfilling objects to upgrade equipment and even dress up your crew. You'll be the flyest fly boys and girls in all the sky. Next, onto a 5v5 team-based space shooter set thousands of years in the future. Here the galaxy is dominated by 3 main powers: the Terra Empire, the Titanium Information Industrial Complex, and the Federation of Free Planets, all fighting for control of resource-rich asteroid belts. You've actually aligned with the sum total of none of them, because you're a money-driven mercenary doing jobs for glory. You're basically Boba Fett if he swapped his tiny little spaceship for a massive capital vessel with the firepower of a small sun, able to shoot off whizzy fizz bangs, whirly death kablogs, and explodey ball wallops. The battles look tactical as you outmaneuver opponents and use skills like cloaking, the ships look large and in charge, and space itself is absolutely crammed with lasers in Fringe Wars. More 4-player co-op shooting now, this time set in a cool post-invasion storyline set during the initial stages of a hostile alien takeover. It's all ragged and scrappy, so your characters look like they've been up all night bandaging their wounds with duct tape, but they've got access to near-future tech like 3D printers that let you print out weapons and barricades. It's this rough and ready approach mixed with the futuristic sci-fi that I love the most. Shotgun versus alien. Who wins? You decide. There are 10 missions in Earthfall, and just to give you an idea of what you're doing, on one mission you have to head to a dam and boot up the generator to draw the aliens whilst the military completes an airstrike on their base. I could definitely go for some alien blasting. Night School Studios' official description for Afterparty is gold. You are Milo and Lola, it goes. Recently deceased best buds who suddenly find themselves staring down an eternity in hell, but there's a loophole. Outdrink Satan and he'll grant you re-entry to Earth. What follows is a wildly creative adventure from the makers of the critically acclaimed point-and-click Oxenfree, as you venture around the underworld on a quest to party your way right out of there. Coming to Game Pass in 2019, me and Afterparty look like a match made in hell. A console launch exclusive on Xbox, Outer Wilds is basically backpacking in space. The setup is you're a new recruit astronaut in your ramshackle Alien Village's space program, and at the beginning of the game you just have to grab the launch codes and blast off in your controllable spacecraft. But there's one thing wrong. Every 20 minutes the sun goes supernova and you die. But your character actually retains all their memories, just like that Bill Murray movie, The Man Who Kept on Dying. So you can use that to branch off onto different parts of the solar system. Things happen at different times in Outer Wilds, like a planet falling apart and a temple getting buried under sand, and it's up to you to seek them out in what little time you have. Dark fairy tale adventure meets 2D tower defense in another ID at Xbox belter. Here, after settling in a village, you basically ride your horse left and right to discover lost treasure, ancient shrines, and wandering peasants. Any gold you find en route can be used to recruit NPCs and build defenses, which comes in handy when night falls and evil creatures attack. The addition of second player is incredibly useful because it means you can cover more ground on the search for gold, then share that gold to get even better defenses, like archers and towers. Plus, when you die, you've got a second player there to prevent a game over. I love forcing teammates to carry me. Totem Teller is the most mysterious game on this list. Developer Grinning Pickle isn't spilling many details about this open world exploration game. About all we know so far is the brief description on the game's official site, which is, quote, "Guide the teller as she explores a world rendered from the last fading memory of a deteriorating story." So Totem Teller sounds like it takes place literally inside of a story, and you have to explore the world solving puzzles to somehow fix or bring the story to life. But what's really amazing about Totem Teller is how it looks, like a beautiful abstract storybook that got fed into an old computer and started glitching out, but in the best way possible. Death is not the end in Dead Cells. In this roguelike action platformer, you explore an interconnected and ever-changing castle. And when one of the hordes of monsters within kills you, you begin again, but you keep all your weapon upgrades. So although there's no checkpoint, you kill, die, learn, and repeat. With more than 50 weapons and spells to pick from, including spears, swords, bows, and freezing blasts, soon you'll be deftly rolling under foes, slashing them with your blade, then putting an arrow right between their eyes. Or, if you're me, just getting straight up murdered. And finally, a game that's 5 years in the making. Conqueror's Blade is a sandbox warfare game taking place on a single giant heart-shaped continent. You take control of this land and build a kingdom, then recruit soldiers to protect it, because when it pops off, there's going to be war. Armies encompass ancient Eastern and Western civilizations, so you've got a bunch of units to play as, including Mongolian horsemen, Japanese musketeers, English longbowmen, Swiss halberdiers, elite samurai, and even something called an Iron Buddha, which is basically a walking tank. Modes include PvP duels, PvE events, and epic sieges where you can use siege machines to lay siege to all that can be sieged. For those who want to experience authentic large-scale battles but always found top-down strategy games a bit daunting, Conqueror's Blade puts you in at ground level. And there we have it, all the best games you might have missed at E3 2018. Let me know what you're excited to play in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for plenty more Xbox goodness. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!